Hey all, welcome back to my channel. This is the Dr. Shabai Show, and on this show, we talk about feminism, how feminism has destroyed society, as well as relationships, families, and home. And so we also talk about modern women and hot topics. But today, I definitely want to talk about this video that's making its round with Samantha Lee Gibson. And I want to talk about it because she has said some things that I want to dissect because I don't believe everything that she's saying, and I'm going to tell you why. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel. Let's get started.
Process is considering going through the process or is living a life right after. All right. But either way, this show here is going to definitely add some value to you because one, Samantha, I love the content you put online.
Thank you.
Samantha, I don't know if y'all know, she's putting some amazing content, which we're going to be dropping her information throughout this conversation in the chat. And if you're watching the pre-record, it's going to be in the description. Y'all definitely need to tap in with this sister. But in general, you really gonna give us some good game because you personally obviously had an experience where you were divorced, obviously, or you went through the process itself. So
Absolutely.
let's kind of talk about that with the people here tonight.
We can talk about it, Lord. Certain things I ain't gonna say, but I'm open to my perspectives of like my half of it. Absolutely.
That's what we need.
Listen, I just want you to say whatever you feel comfortable saying tonight because that's what's gonna help free the people.
That's right.
Because this is what I want to know. Let's start right here. Because obviously we promote healthy relationships. We don't want divorce.
Right.
But at the end of the day, sometimes that's the option that you have to go about taking just for your own peace,
Right.
and your own happiness at some point. But some parts of me, even as a man, is a bit concerned about whether or not it's my partner's going to be so focused on happiness that we're not going to be able to weather hard times, right?
Yes.
And people can just bow out
Mm-hmm.
and opt out of divorce because they just don't want to go through those trenches and those pits
I get that.
you inevitably go through in marriage. So how did you know that divorce was the right option for you in your relationship?
So first off, what I want to say in general, we know that women file for divorce more often than not. I think a lot of times we do it out of hurt, out of anger, unforgiveness. And you've covered this with Dr. Spirit, which shout out to you, sis. I love you.
Shout out to Dr. Spirit.
But it's a lot of unforgiveness, and that unforgiveness, if it's left unforgiven, turns into bitterness, and that bitterness can build a fence, and that fence becomes very hard to feel when you build that wall up. And I think that of course, I won't go into specifics about what happened or why it happened. But I will say that it's very important for you to seek wise counsel. I've had a therapist for a very long time. So loved ones, people that support you, you want to make sure that you are involving in that decision making. And you have to really decide and make a very calculated decision based upon your belief systems, based upon who you're speaking to, your wise counsel, like giving them the information and then making the best decision. I think that we do take divorce very casually, and I'll admit I probably looked at it a little less intensely as I should have. That's me looking back on it. Because I would never tell. I work with women. I would never tell a woman to walk through that in the same frame of mind I was in when I did it.
And when you say that, but what frame of mind was that? What do you mean by that in particular?
I was very, very hurt. I was very angry. And I remember like when I made like the decision, I was like hysterically crying on the phone with my attorney. That was not the person I should have been on the phone with when like that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway.
Stop here because, first of all, This is a red flag for me because number one, she said that she was on the phone crying hysterically to an attorney, her attorney. Now, number one, she is not a celebrity. She's a social worker. Her ex-husband, Tyrese, is the celebrity. That's the first thing you want to talk about. And you don't call an attorney out the blue and crying to them hysterically on the phone. That means that she has had a conversation with this attorney before. She has a relationship with this attorney because she had been thinking about a divorce. You don't call an attorney until you decide you're going to file. But she has been talking to this attorney for a while. That's what I conclude. Now, the issue with this is an attorney is an attorney. When they have clients, they look at them as a dollar sign. But if you get a divorce, they are going to make money. That's the first red flag right there. So let's continue.
I was hysterically crying. And I was not in any position to make that decision. I was extremely emotionally intoxicated.
Mm.
We can be intoxicated with our emotions, and I'm very much emotionally led. I feel very strongly. I'm just that kind of person, very passionate. But I would never tell somebody to make that decision when they're that emotional. But of course, I wasn't talking to someone that genuinely would be for marriage, or for reconciliation. And that's not no slight to my,
No, it's
the
The
many
attorney.
current the
things.
current
It's not,
friends.
yeah, it has nothing. There's no slight to that. It Not the friends, but I was on the phone with my attorney.
Yeah.
So it was something that was being said to me that hurt me at that time. And that, so at that time when I was on the phone and I made that decision, I was livid. I was emotional. I was hysterical. And so, if anything, if I could take anything from that and advise somebody else, because I don't want families to be torn apart,
Yeah.
it would be that if you're that hurt and you're like that emotional about someone, that's not a lack of love. Like, the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. It's void of love, void of feelings. And
Mm.
so if I'm that emotional and I'm that hurt and I'm like on that level where I'm just like, I can't stop thinking and I'm just obsessing over why I am hurt. I if it's misguided and misdirected, it can go in a bad direction. And so I think that, with that being said, I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
And I made a decision like, well, I'm so angry, I'm so hurt, and this is, and I'm just like, forget it, like, never mind, like, I need to be done with this. This is horrible, just all you just ruminating on all the negative things and not focused on any of the positive things. I posted a reel, and I mean this. I really mean this. There was a guy who was talking about the f- that when he before he decided to marry his wife, he had said or had told um his wife that he needed to choose the people that would speak to her in her most emotional moments.
Mm.
And it was people that would be for the relationship.
Right.
And I know a lot of people had different kind of like comments about the person and everything like that, but the message of what he was saying for me resounds true, because the people I had in my ear at the time were not for that.
Let me ask you
I
this.
got to say something here. So, when you are married to someone and you love them, I I know this because I've been married, I am divorced, but there is nothing anybody can say that's going to make me stop loving this man. I come to that conclusion myself that I cannot be with you because, of da 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 da, not because of what someone else says, because I think that she is trying to create this narrative that she doesn't really want to take any accountability or responsibility because the woman files for divorce at any time. You can say, you know what, I changed my mind, but she carried it all the way to the end. And that's the part that we have to acknowledge. She keeps saying that, yeah, if these people are in my ear, I was talking to an attorney. But if you love someone, that stuff doesn't matter. You can't, because I feel like she went into this marriage ready with one foot in and one foot out. That's what I believe. So let's continue.
Because I think that's such a good point. Like when you're even in that spot where when you're emotional, you're
Yes.
in the pit of your relationship,
Yes.
it's so important to make sure you have people who are pro marriage, pro relationship, pro your
100%.
current relationship to
100%.
be able to help, you know, as much as possible,
100%.
make the best decision to keep the marriage going
Yeah.
when everybody may not have access to that counsel. So let me ask you this. If we can go back and if I were able somehow to insulate you with a pro marriage, pro relationship community, do you think you still would have actually gone through a divorce?
Not that time.
Okay.
I don't know what would have happened. Oh, I've never said this publicly.
No, this is what
This
we
is
do.
a
This
Harley
is deep.
initiated exclusive, baby.
Delano, make sure
Yeah.
you zoom in on this one, okay?
Yeah. It gets
Don't
deep.
actually no. I want to deny myself. I want to deniability. Yeah, no, the truth about the matter is that if I had different people in my ear at that time, I would not have made that decision. No,
Wow.
I wouldn't.
Okay, so there you have it. That is the part of the video that I wanted to show. And of course, you can watch the entire video. I put the link in the description box. But I want to know, what do you all think? I mean, I think it's ludicrous to say that if somebody else was in her ear that was pro marriage, she would not have filed for a divorce. I don't believe that. I feel like she went into this marriage knowing that Tyrese is someone who loves hard, and she has seen his previous relationship where when you get a divorce you get paid, especially if your spouse is a celebrity. And I even think that Tyrese current girlfriend is finessing him, but what do you all think? I would love to hear your comments. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel. Until next time, this is Dr. Shabai. Bye.